Mr. Cage, thought of the day. He called me out. Yes, I did. I'm always calling you out. If you're watching these videos, continually, the cadence, the anthem, and the sound is called out. This statement stood out to me because I was teaching a class. Anytime I teach, I always set foundational thoughts with my students, whether they be young students, teenagers, or adults. I normally have some type of foundational thought that I'm building on. And in this case, I was in an in-person classroom setting, and I was asking different questions about living inside out versus outside in, various amount of questions. And one young lady that I pointed to, I asked her for her feedback, and she was frozen. I could see the fear and almost terror in her eyes and her pupils, and I didn't know why. So after the whole conversation, she never came back and shared anything. But I began to ask, other students in different classes, why do we feel, the way we feel when people, quote unquote, call us out in the in-person classroom setting. And someone, which I don't recall, shared with me that we feel as though we're being picked on. And that was my assessment. Not saying that the young lady said that, but that was the explanation given to me. Check it out. He called me out, whether you a teenager, whether you adult, whether you a professional, whatever phase of life that you find yourself in, you will be called out. But the question is, what am I being called out of? And what happens is that when people call us out, we process it. In some instances, we process this in the inaccurate, wrong way, with the wrong perception. We process it as, I'm offended. Or, why is this person on my heels? Or why is this person picking on me? But if we look at it from a different point of view, if we get away from the first person point of view, because a first person point of view generates a lot of I, me, my, and my statements. But if we look at it holistically from a place of purpose, we'll process this as, if that person is calling me out, they're calling me out of restriction. They're calling me out of limitation. They're calling me out of poverty. They're calling me out of a limited capacity. They're calling me out of being average or being mediocre. But it's all based upon, number one, the person and the place that they're sharing from. Are they sharing from a place of purity? Are they sharing from a place of inspiration and motivation to help us become unstuck? Secondly, how are we processing this? And where are we processing this from? Am I processing what's being said from where I desire to go, future, or where I was? So if we can manage this thought in the now, looking towards our future, we will process when someone calls us out for feedback or a question, we'll process it differently versus if we process it from the past. The past is going to generate again, I, me, my, and mine. It's going to be from a place of fear, trepidation, and we're going to feel like we're being picked on. But everything that we feel, trust me, it's not real. Mr. Cage, like, share, subscribe. Thought of the day, he called me out. When I call you out, I'm calling you out of who you used to be and calling you into who you're supposed to become according to your purpose.